Shalom. I want to say Kahala Yahweh, Wa Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And salutation to you, I can push from his word in truth and sincerity. I just wanted to make a video on knowing your words in this truth. Because when you're in this truth, man, it's important. Being in this truth is important to know your words and to know the meaning of words, because you can't get the true understanding of the scriptures without looking up the words in the scriptures, you know. And you don't want to be like the people of today's day and claim to know the truth, to know the Bible, and just read at face value and not know the meaning of the words in the Bible, because the scriptures were written in Hebrew first, then translated into the Greek, the New Testament, and later on into English, and so on and so on. And through translation, you're gonna lose some words, because, for instance, in the Hebrew language, there's no J, E, or U in there, but in the English language, you have that. So, in the Hebrew language, when the scriptures are written in Hebrew, you won't see the name Jesus Christ there. See, so that wouldn't be his name, right? His name is Yahushai, and the Lord's name, who everybody ignorantly calls God, is Yahweh. All right. So I'm trying to go into a couple scriptures here. Lower, make this short and just get to the point. Start off with Proverbs 10 and 18. This is Proverbs chapter 10 verse 18, and it reads, He that hideth, Slack 10 and 18. He that hideth hatred with lying lips, and he that uttereth a slander is a fool. In the multitude of words there wanting no sin, but he that refraineth his lips is wise. That's right, because you could tell when somebody is lying when they're over explaining themselves, man. The thing is about the truth is easy. Alright, it's short, simple, and straight to the point. That's why these pastors are off, because they will talk. They'll literally talk in circles about one thing in the scriptures. You know, basically saying the same thing in just different ways, different words. You know, literally just talking at their ass. So when you'll know a man of the word, a man of the Lord, by the way he breaks down the scriptures. You know, giving you straight cuts, yes or no, getting to the point and not beating around the bush. You know, a lot of pastors, if you ask them a question that they don't know the answers to, they're going to beat around the bush. And they'll never tell you to look up words and know the meaning of words. When I was in the world and I went to church, my pastor never once told me to look up words or looked up words at the sermons. Okay? Like the apostles of Great Millstone, they're always looking up words, man. They're always pushing that we brothers who are also doing this work should be looking up words, man. You know? A workman needeth not to be ashamed. So it says, verse 19, In the multitude of words there wanteth not sin, but he that refraineth his lips is wise. The tongue of the just is as a choice silver, and the heart of the wicked is little worth. And that's right, man, because the tongue of the just is like choice silver, which means that choice silver is the scriptures, man. It's the wisdom that comes from the man, and the wisdom that comes from a man is of the scriptures. Like the apostles of Great Millstone, you know, you'll have like, for instance, you have Christmas specials they do videos on, or New Year's Eve specials, or different vain holiday specials that they'll do videos on to bring out edification. And you know, you got brothers they'll do live shows, and you got brothers who are just waiting there. They're just stoked because the words that come out of these men's mouth, these men's mouth, are choice silver to us, man. This is the true riches. True riches is wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the Lord's word, which is the scriptures, man. That's why it says that the lips of the righteous feed, or slack it, verse 20, the tongue of the just is as choice silver. Alright? And not everybody is rich. Just like not everybody can get the true understanding of the scriptures, man. The elect are a small number, the remnant of Israel. So it says, verse 20, the tongue of the just is as choice silver, and the heart of the wicked is little worth. The lips of the righteous feed many, but fools die for want of wisdom. That's how a lot of people are going to be, man. Just like they were saying 2016 was the year of death. A lot of people died in 2016. Well, this new year, 2017, is also going to be another year of death. And a lot of people are going to die wanting to know the truth. A lot of people go to the grave not knowing the truth. Everybody in one form or the other is searching for the truth. That's why you have all these vain religions, okay? These vain ideologies and doctrines like Islam, being Catholics, the modern day Christians, where their Christianity just goes back to Constantine, all right? You got Jehovah Wickedness, atheists, evolutionists. All these different forms of religion are men trying to search for the truth, man. But the Hebrew Israelites, the great millstone GMS of the Hebrew Israelites, are the ones who have the truth, man. Starting with the apostles of great millstone, on down to the elders and the other brothers in the group, on down to us brothers. We're the ones with the truth, and that's why when the apostles were speaking, they fed many, men. They fed many. It tells you in Acts that, I think, after let me just get that real quick, just to prove my point. Bear with me for 1 minute. This is Acts chapter 2, verse Acts chapter 2, verse 40. I'm going to start from 40, and it says, And with many other words did he testify and exhort, saying, Save yourselves from this untoward generation. Then they that gladly received his word were baptized, and the same day there were added unto them about 3,000 souls. And they committed steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship, and in the breaking of bread, and in prayer. And the fear came upon every soul, and many wonders and signs were done by the apostles. And all that believed were together and had all things common. That's the same thing that's happened today, man. The apostles, the men of those are the men that the Lord trusted with this truth. Okay, they were given this truth, and then over years they have broken it down to other brothers who are of the hopeful elect, who listened and now are out there themselves pushing this truth, man. That's exactly what's happening now. Just like it happened in Acts, it's happening now. That's why back in Proverbs it says that the lips of the righteous feed many, but the fools die for want of wisdom. And a lot of people are gonna die not knowing the truth, or not like not knowing the truth, but because everybody in the end of the day is gonna end up knowing the truth. They're gonna know who the true prophets are. They're gonna know the true name of the Lord and His Son. Okay, they're gonna know that Israel's His chosen nation, but they're gonna die knowing that they were wrong. And Yahushua is gonna get all the glory, on down to the elect, or Yahweh, on down to Yahushua, and from Yahushua on down to the apostles and the elect. Man. That's who's going to get the glory, because those are men who've been preaching the truth in sincerity and been doing this work in season, out of season, man. Going into words, breaking down the truth the right way, and edifying and feeding the elect. That's it on that. I'm going to jump to Proverbs 18:2. This is Proverbs 18:2, and it reads, "A fool has no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover itself." That's right, because fools, when you're in this truth, man, you don't need to bend over backwards to break this thing down to someone who's deliberately not trying to understand it. Right? We're just mouthpieces. It's the Lord who chooses who will listen to what his prophets have to say. Listen to his word. So, like it says in John 15:16, "For I have chosen you, but you have not chosen me. But you have not chosen me, for I have chosen you." Roughly paraphrasing. So it's the Lord who chooses who wakes up to the truth and who doesn't. You're just a mouthpiece. So all our job is just to break down the truth right in the right way, okay, and answer all the questions that are being asked. And then from there, it's the Lord who seals the hopeful elect. So you don't have to break your bend over backwards, so to speak, to break this truth down to people who deliberately don't want to understand, man. They don't want to understand, and that's their judgment. That's their ass. They've been called from the Lord, and now the Lord is going to judge them accordingly. So it says, "A fool has no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover itself." So really, in the end of the day, they don't want to listen to the men of the Lord. That's because they're being prideful. They want to do it their own way, how they feel it should be said, or how they feel it should be presented to them. Verse 4, it says, the words of a man's mouth are as deep waters, and the wellspring of wisdom as flowing brook. And that's right, man. When you go into this truth, or you listen to the apostles or other brothers and elders who are breaking down this truth, they break it down so plainly that it becomes deep knowledge, man. Just when you thought you had a certain scripture figured out, there's even a deeper understanding to it, man. And that constantly happens to me all the time. Just when you find out you have certain scriptures figured out, there's deeper understandings to it. The scriptures is manifold, man. The Bible talks about the word being manifold, and this is deep waters, man. This deep knowledge. This is the truth of the world, of life, of existence. This book, that's how powerful it is. It says, verse 6, "A fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calls for strokes. A fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are a snare of his souls." That's why, man, I used to get a lot of people coming up to our camp and say that you guys are too, and we used to cut them and show them that they're basically contradicting themselves, and they would always say, "Why you guys so analytical? Why you so analytical? Why you guys are just so anal about everything?" Of course we gotta be. It says right here, "A fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are a snare unto his soul." Like for instance, Nate's a fool, man. His mouth is a destruction unto him, and it's a snare unto his soul. Because here he is denying the name of the Lord, when you got videos of him praising the true name of the Lord Yahweh Shai, and saying this is the name, and going down into detail, breaking it down, showing how this is a real name. And now he's saying, no, that's not the name. It's the name. We don't know what the name is. So they're calling on Jesus Christ. He's a fool, man, and his mouth is his destruction, and his lips are a snare unto his soul. Because he's going to get judged, and when he wakes up, he's a 2/3. He's going to be, when he wakes up, pursuant to Daniel 12:2, he's going to be a shamefaced, man, in the script in the kingdom. Okay, that's why we take it upon ourselves to be very diligent in what we speak, man. Be very diligent in what you're reading, and understand and know what you're reading. Don't just read it because you heard another man read it. Don't just break down scriptures because you heard the way another man broke it down. You actually have to look it up for yourself too. As the scripture says, let every man be convinced in his own mind, man. Because if you're just listening to the apostles, Not saying they're wrong or anything, but if you're just listening and just regurgitating what they're saying, you're just a mockingbird, man. You want to be able to understand this for yourself and break it down and understand it and digest it so it sticks. Don't get me wrong, you still need the apostles to teach you. You still need them to teach you, and still need them to break down the scriptures to you, but you also got to do some of your own work off of what they're doing, because they basically give you the foundation. And then you build off that foundation by consistently studying, watching their videos, going out doing the work, experiencing what the scriptures say happens, things like that. Okay? Two more scriptures and I'll close up here. This is 1 Corinthians 14 and 38. It says, 1 Corinthians 14 and 38, but if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant. Wherefore, brethren, convert to prophesy, and forbid not to speak with tongues. Let all things be done decently and in order. Yeah, that basically my point was verse 38, where it says, but if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant. Basically, you don't need to bend over, like I say, it sounds like a broken record, but you don't need to bend over backwards to break this truth down to somebody. If they're going to be ignorant, let them be ignorant, man. Just keep moving. Like Yahushua said, shake off the dust off their feet and keep it moving. Roughly paraphrase it. So this is Ecclesiastes 5 and 3. It's the last scripture here. Ecclesiastes chapter 5 verse 3, and it says, for a dream cometh through the multitude of business, and a fool's voice is known by a multitude of words. Okay, so you can identify a fool by the over explanation and the over talking that he's doing. Like some of these camps, like GOCC, IUCPK, all they do is they just loud talk everybody, man. They just talk over people. They don't actually go conversing back and forth with someone, And this truth is plain, man. These pastors talk out of their ass and basically talk in circles of the same thing, never actually going into something new and breaking down the scriptures and getting to the point, That was it for my scriptures. I just got this article that I printed out a long time ago. It's not an article, basically. It's just some information I found on the web on rents.com. It's basically not an article, but information on what word magic is. Because you got a thing called New Speak and Old Speak, right? And Esau, that's why we got to look up our words, because Esau constantly is using language to hide the truth, So if you brothers can see that, there's the website. I got the whole thing highlighted there. So I'm just going to go into this and read it. This is basically where it says, word magic. A simple perversion of language has it made it possible to convince people around the world that these alternative laws apply to them. One of the predominant beliefs in modern culture is that license, permits, regulations, and other forms of documentations are required to operate motor vehicles. See, so that's a perversion of the words. A lot of people believe you need to have a registration and a license and all these different things to require a vehicle. And it says, use public roads, build structures and establishments, and engage in free enterprise, and much more. Sadly, these beliefs are based on little to no investigation whatsoever, and are false. This belief structure is perpetuated by maritime admiralty law. Now, I'm not going to go into maritime admiralty law because it's a deep thing, but for you brothers who want to know what that is, look it up, maritime admiralty law, and basically is how America and Canada are governed, basically, and it goes into deep depth of how it works and everything, but basically, word magic, this says, my point, word magic, a simple perversion of the language has it made it possible to convince people around the world that these alternative laws apply to them. So through the confusion of language and words, Esau has convinced people of believing in certain things, like for example, that the Lord loves everybody. John 3:16. For so God loved the world, he sent his only begotten Son. If you just read that face value, you're not going to understand that word world goes back to the word cosmos, which means a group, a sect of people. Look it up for yourself. Okay, and that's only talking about a sect of people, which the sect of people, the group is Israel. So even the whole Gentiles thing. You gotta look up your words, man. You got Gentile Israelites, and you got actual Gentiles who are heathens. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna close up. I hope I hit the points, and this video was edifying. I'm gonna say Ka Halal Yahweh Wa Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. A salutation to you Akims pushing this word in true sincerity. Alright? Shalom.